Good evening, folks. Morning in Australia. It's 21:52 on the 12th day, 5th month. Oh, I didn't change it. Suckers. Let's try it again. I'm trying to change the mouse thing. Well, it is what it is. I tried a moment ago. Huh, that's weird. Forget it. You guys just watch what you get. Right, we got some really, really heavy stuff here about to impact the Harvey Bay area. I just call it an area. Oh my. These are going to be some soggy conditions. Watch what's coming through. And this stuff's going to camp out for a bit of a duration. I mean, if you want to see the accumulation of the plan, of the weather plan here in front of me, it's that's a lot over the next 3 days. But most of all of that's coming over the next 24 hours. So over the next 24 hours, you can, according to this plan, my God, that is a lot. 160 millimeters of rain. That's about a half a foot. Yeah, 16 centimeters over the next 24-hour period, and of that, it's pretty evenly split. So the amount of downpour you're getting in this area is pretty much going to be how it's going to be. I don't know what the state of the catchment is here and where this water is going to run, and I'm sure you do. That is a lot of rain to fall in 24 hours. Some places in the world don't get that in a year. So just think about that when you think about geoengineering and you think about man-made storms and you think about the Paris Accords not only wanting to be able to have control of your weather and blocking your sunlight, which could drive up your heating bills. I got to point that out, like we can afford that, but it's going to slap a huge tax on lots of things. And they don't know what they're doing. Let's just say it. They don't know what they're doing. If you're popping down 170 mils of rain on top of an area, you definitely don't know what you're doing. There was no drought here. They did not need the relief. So all these river catchment areas here are going to have a bit of difficulty. At least you don't have the big mountains right on the side of it, of this highway, that I know of. It's pretty flat, actually. I'm gonna run what they say it's gonna be. I'm not gonna fart around. I'm trying to get this just look at the weather as quick as possible. Now the other problem with this storm is, you see this color here, right? That is heavy wind, right? Dangerous wind. Like, don't go playing out in the ocean today. Rip tides, and if you ain't a professional to be, don't even go out there. Don't be an idiot. I know I'm going to see films of somebody in the process of somebody holding their beer, but is it worth your life? That's bad. So where these storms are here, and this water's coming ashore, is now a concern. Even though we don't have, let's say, a big circulation of wind, right? We still have wind, and we have water, and we have places of concern. Like, if the wind is blowing straight in and this water is coming straight in, it's going to hem up over here, Agnes water. You're going to flood. There is no way you won't. Unless you got a barrier up here, which a lot of them have been put up for sale around the world after big events. There's nothing to prevent it from coming in nailing this area. Has somebody proposed a barrier for here yet to block tidal waters from coming in? And if so, let me know, please. I'm always curious about things. Turkey Beach over here. Gobble, gobble, gobble. You guys, I hope you're out already. Yeah, but I imagine you guys are quite used to storms out there on the peninsula there, Turkey. This song stuck on my head as usual. Right, let's look at the railroad track highway conditions here, because this is important. Yeah, you guys got a lot of rain hitting that area, and you will flood. Over definitely that railroad station ain't looking too good. You poor folks, get your stock up in the air, but it's going to be ongoing. You are already in deep shit. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, stay the hell home. Don't go out there risking your life or the life of any emergency worker now. It's too late. I gave a warning many days ago. You had time to react. But trust the plan of the people that have degrees. And well, how many degrees you gonna have today of unhappiness is depends upon your preparedness. There's levels for you over here, Agnes Water. Run off there, run off there, run off from here, because that's uphill, right? And this road will become is basically a dry riverbed, isn't it? Have we learned that lesson yet? Especially the main highways where they wall them off. So we have to know that as these highways that are over here, Gin. Excuse me. That's oh my. So I was looking where these things join. And remember, where these things go over rivers and bridge things, they drop water. Like water's cruising along here, if it's downhill this way or this way, I just don't know. But it'll drop water every time it goes to an area where there's no land underneath it. There's a free fall, and they'll drop water. They always do. You ever see a bridge with the concrete sides? There's always gaps in them. Otherwise, they have wind issues. The bridge might start to cavitate or get a weird sonic vibration, and it vibrates out of control. Oh my. Well, you see where I'm pointing here? You see the problem here in this area? Oh, there you go. 150 there on your next 24 hours. And not split very even. So the first 12 hours, you might have some time to get to some higher ground over here, Wallaville. But you don't have time to make a great journey. But if you're going to get, oh my God, that's over 100 mils, right? In 12 hours. Then you're in trouble. Get out. Get the warning to people and get them to some higher area. But you ain't got a lot of time to get nowhere. Don't risk your lives, your pets' lives, or the lives of a worker that would have to come save your stupid ass if you went out in it. Because you would be a stupid ass risking other people's lives. So this whole area is actually, what to use my term, you're quite fucked. But I warned you, Mount Perry. I warned this whole fucking area. So, I'm sorry I'm getting upset. I've been covering this for too many days. And even this other, this one here comes from Europe and England. They're telling you're copping it. Right? They're in agreement. That's what I say. They're pretty much in agreement. They're less than more. Like 2 batches of big gaps of moisture might be out here at sea, which I'm now going to look at. There is a hell of a lot of water between here and here. No, I mean a lot. And it's coming. And it's going to steadily come in. It might not be this deluge like you've seen in Harvey Bay. Though I have a feeling as this goes further south, we're going to see some conditions that are going to be quite stressful. It's breaking my heart. I got to say it. It's very hard to keep coming on here every night for a month and describing the slow motion train wreck that they clear the track and then they put another train on the track and run it right into the same wall. Look at this beam line. Bzzz. Straight old line like that. And that's fueling your lightning. Line there. That's a lot of moisture. And this is coming down and in as well. And this is a fold move. Right? Look how this is hovering up. Making a beeline. That should come like that. This blast come in here at the end. Bzzzt. The frying's going on over here. You see what it did? Look, see those gap sparks there? But This is something I've been watching for a year, and I got my own names for things. So there's a lot of moisture here. I mean, a lot. Yeah, isn't that lovely there? And we'll get to it. Chem bombs suck, and you just seen a shitload of them. Right, Lismar is on everybody's lips. Stop keeping them on your lips, because today it's chinchilla time. And I ain't talking a mink coat. I'm talking a town that is in great danger of flooding out. And looks to me like the 12 hours you've had is the biggest part of it. Right? So if that is a kind of relief. However, floodwaters run, and those numbers could change at any time when you got pressures like these. All right, where's my green line? Right over the top of Gimpy. So where does that, as I've been teaching, where does it put the line of rain? Tell me. Would it put it here to here? And if it puts that line from here to here, when I told you 8 days ago, this area all through here is in great risk of having that color rain right over the top of it. And I mean at great risk over the next 10 days. You see it? You believe me now? Am I some kind of liar or sensationalist? No, I'm a person here who just happens to care enough about people going along these coastal roads and their livelihoods. Because I myself have been homeless 4 times fighting against geoengineering. And the last time, it took me 2 years and I still ain't got close. All right, so I understand. I feel it. And it fuels my fight. So as you can see, this weather plan is not too healthy. I'm not 100% on these numbers, but I'd say this could be quite accurate because I showed you just how much moisture was in that band that they took from up here, blasted it in around with a great big EMF beam, electromagnetic frequency. I'm not talking NextRad or some freaking 5G tower. Don't even be blaming 5G for nothing like that because it's incapable of making such a large EMF beam without losing everyone in the networks, right? You'd feel that. No. So I don't even want to hear anybody blaming that at all. Nope. Impossible. It's too much. That was a big whomp. And that came from down in Antarctica. I could pull it back up and show you, but take my word for it. Or prove me wrong. Right? Look at the amount of rain through here. Now I'm taking you through the Northern Rivers area. Toowoomba. I talked about you the other day. You're talking 20 centimeters, right? Nearly. These are averages I'm giving you. Goldie, Mooba, Wooden Bong. This is the weather plan that's coming up on this one for the whole 10 days. 10 days worth of rain. This is all this. And you tell me this Northern Rivers ain't going to flood and your government didn't warn you? And I'm telling you it was going to flood, and I've been warning you. Boy, they've been calling me a liar and terrible names and bullying me. Well, you can bully me all you want. I say, bully for you. I'm going to warn people anyhow. One of these days, you'll face your judgment from the bigger source than your wallet ever can hold. Right? And remember, these lives of the people that you hold in your hands are hands that could go around necks. Because I'll tell you what. Imagine a father over here is watching a baby float away and finding your signature on a document that says you allowed geoengineering to occur in any way, shape, or form during the past decades when they've been proposing this. And I'm going to provide you with that information. I'm not going to do it tonight. It's just a matter of looking through the documents. They're there. It is real. It is not a lie. The Paris Accords and geoengineering walk hand in hand, and they have to govern it. Right? They don't want one country spraying something going on in Australia, do they? But they dang sure will spray one state to another. I'm getting really disgusted. You guys have some really, really bad times coming. So I'm going to show you the guilt right now. From the square form storm here off the coast of Perth, which isn't coming your way anytime soon, to the sickness mist streaming over Adelaide. Reports of Again, fishy water and metal smelly water. And nosebleeds, eyes hurting. Chickens going blind. What's up with that? Any problems with your chickens or anything? I'd like some information on that. And it's not reading in a newspaper. This is something a person said to me about their chickens. Okay? Boom, went the plume there. Look at that one. Wow. Chem bombs ain't real. There's no such thing as that. The science would have told me. That's a fucking chem bomb going off out there outside this town of Euclid. I'm going to give it all a shot. I'm always going to give it a shot, and you're going to correct me on names, and I might have nicknames you'll never get rid of. Yeah, I know it's Balina. But, you know, I could call you Belenda. Or maybe other people do, but I like Belina, man. Ball-ina, like reading English. Now, I'm going to take some of the town names off in a minute. That is some sickness mix going over the top of you toward Broken Hill. Like somebody shooting a ray gun. Okay, Dubbo. You're right on the edge of the line here. So you'll get the best shots of the edge of the chem. So that going over you right there, right now, is a combination of electromagnetic frequency, clouds, and EMF. Well, why is that one suddenly straight but the rest of them aren't? EMF boundary on the edge. Made sure that didn't come over. What do we got out here in your ocean? We got a bunch of shit. Look at this crap here. Streamers of death over your oceans, poisoning my fish. My fish. Blocking the light from my plankton so it can't grow. So it can't photosynthesize. Well, what does photosynthesis give off as its exhaust? Come on, don't think too long. Oxygen. Or do they stop teaching that in school? Look at the cross chem bomb coming over here. My God. Is this blatant or what? These are weather bombs being deployed. Don't let them say it's a rain bomb. It's a fucking chem bomb, and it's going off, and they're real, and they're lying to you. You can't tell me your government would never lie to you, would they? Could you look yourself in the mirror and even say that honestly? Governments lie like rugs, okay? And like rugs, they'll wrap you up in it and throw you in a ditch. They don't care. All they want's their money for their corporate buddies. And you all complain about it every year how your politicians are on. And here you go again to have your happy ceremony to put the same ones back in. Vote the fucking rascals out. Look what they're doing here. You can't undo a burnt bun, man. And this country is fucking burnt to a crisp. A couple years ago, literally. I mean, what's bad enough? Wooden bonfire burning out here, right? And now they're flooding them out. They are. These people have been tortured. These people have been every bit of Pavlovian fear, PTSD instilled in them, so they would just move. I have one more bolt of light and I'm out of here. Well, there is nowhere to fucking go. You cannot run from the fucking sky. You can't run from this. This is what was there that was going over that I showed you, okay? See where I am now? This sickness mix going over the top. You can't run from this. You can't hide from this. You breathe this. This is every day. This isn't need to knock on your door and kick it down, to get into your body, to rape you without your permission. Chem bombs fucking suck, and this shit's fucking falling out, and you're breathing it, whether you like it or not, or you believe it or not. This can't kill you anyhow. Anyhow, what are you gonna do about it? You gonna deny it? You gonna shoot a messenger? Well, you see what they shot one of the greatest messengers of all time, huh? You see what they did to him? Strung his ass up. That Club of Rome did. Well, look what they're doing now. United Nations gang fucking Australia again. And if you got a problem with my wording, I have a problem with what's going on here. This is Townsville. They are about, for a week now, Just total, absolute, one after the other. Getting fucked. And now it's moving on down the coast. Moving on down the coast. Here comes Bundaberg. I'm absolutely disgusted. You know there'll be whales here, right? And they're right on that line. I'm going to agree with the water amount. That low, insignificant. All it's doing is creating a rotation to just like this and just conveyor belts that in. Whoop. Yep. And this one here going like that, conveying all that in. This poop shoot pipeline of shit ass fucking weather's coming all over the top of you. It ain't holding the line. This is crossing the fucking line. And they've crossed the line. And well, you see it is going to be bad, like I said. I'm not going to go into specific towns tonight. You know your areas. I'm going to give you a general piece of advice. Don't go out in this shit. Don't risk lives. You had plenty of days to prepare for this. You will not die if you don't have your candy bar for 5 days. Okay? Oh, I got just a minute. How many people have said they had just 1 minute to get across that water over there and then they end up drowning because they drove to something and the road was gone. They didn't know it. You know, there's a little isolated something here along this path. Just in case, you know, they make that color green seem so friendly. It's not such a friendly there, right? So, again, very risky weather for you folks to be out and about in. Right, this is taking its toll on me tonight. So I'm not going to make this very long. Did that kind of tell you? My God. Right, you got time here. That's probably one of the only areas. But according to this map, not much. Right, this is all of them. None of them say that you ain't got time. But all these waters that have been for days and days and days headed down these rivers have taken your time away. All right? Your time is over. You can't get out. Bridges are washed out. Roads are washed out already up here. Where you going to go? What they going to do when the chem bomb comes for you? What you going to do when it comes for you? You going to hold your breath till it goes away? Well, these are 4-hour stretches. Is it gone away yet? Has that trail gone away yet? Is it dissipated like a contrail? Do you feel conned yet? I do. Square form storms right here before your eyes. Could you get more square than that? Chem bombs suck. Chem bombs are real. And just because some owned ass fact checker says different, it does not refute that it's right there in front of your eyes or the result of my forecast accuracy based on these fake excuses. Because these clouds are real and they're made out of some kind of toxins that we don't know about because they're not dissipating properly. And that ain't your father's cloud seeding program. This is not cloud seeding. Don't you ever say Robert Deutsch said this is cloud seeding. Cloud seeding takes an existing cloud and changes its dynamic. No, this is geoengineering. This is cloud creation. These are weather bombs, and these are not good days for these people over here affected by this. Not good days for all these people over here. Not good days at all for the lucky country. I think your luck is run out. What you gonna do? Only you can decide. I say I do not consent to the Paris Accords. I do not consent to blocking my sunlight or the sunlight that goes over this ocean. And I damn sure don't consent to them killing people and animals this month in Australia. Be the change, or you will be changed anyhow. That is